Hi, this is again Mohammed Aziz, and I'm senior software developer and senior software consultant. So here we are again with our second session of earning better Python. So we are learning Python today. Our topic is comments, variables, and constants. So this comment is not, I mean, this concept is not basically only about Python, but it's widely used concept, have been used in all the languages which are available in software programming. And let's see. Okay, so the first concept is comments. Comments are basically used to actually give some explanation to your code. It's available in every language. Comments are also used to actually, if you don't want to execute some piece of code at some time, so you can also comment that piece of code. In Python, the comments are very easy. You can just use the hash sign and put your comment, print line or whatever. You can put it over there. Also, if I just copy this piece of code here and just make multiple lines, you see that in this way I can also place the comments here. This will not be executed by the compiler. Print line 2 and so on. So also if I don't want to execute this line, I can make it as a comment, and same for this case. So we can have one line comment like here, one line comment, and we can also have multiple line comments in Python. That multiple line comments are basically used with three lines, three quotes. Here you go, and you can just copy here and paste here. Multi-line comments, more comments, and comments. So if I run this program, you will see the there are two print lines, hello world. One is this one, and the other one is this one. And we can't see of these lines over here which are commented. So this is the main purpose of using comments. And again, like I said before, this is not only for Python. This is a widely used concept. And second concept is the variables. The variables are the containers that we use to store our values while our program is basically running. Again, while the concept is being used in all the languages, and but there are some differences available. Python's variables are very strong because you don't need to declare a variable. The variable is declared when you actually initially set the value of the variable. For example, it's very easy. If I say the variable name is x here and I just put equals 5, so it means the variable has been defined here. Means this is the name of the variable, which is called x, and it contains the value 5, right? So this is the way of actually declaring the variables in Python. Python variables is basically, they have a lot of different kinds of variables. We can have output variables, we have global variables, and also those are the variables which are being used everywhere. So if in the same example, this variable x5, if I just want to print it, print, and then I just put x, and that's it. And if I just run it, I will say it's been printing 5 over here. If I just make it like that, I just want to change this variable value to something else. For example, x equals string. So now this variable has become a string variable, and I can print it. Sorry about my print and x, and then run it. So you will see the first it print 5 and then second print string. If I do something like that, just create multiple variables like x, y, z equals 1, 3, 1, 4, and let's make it 7. So this is another way of actually declaring multiple variables. And if I print it, x, comma, y, comma, z, and I run this program, so you will see the 147 has been printed, right? There is another way that you can use, you can print the multiple variables. It's x plus y plus z, and if I run this now, so you will see it actually plus all those three values and add up and just show like this. Now if I change the value to this, to some string, that's my name here, and run it. So you see there is an error in this area. There's uppercase problem that is showing that unsupported operands plus integer and string, that you cannot actually plus these two strings. So if you just make it, fix it up, and now run it, so you see it has basically print all these three variables. Okay, so the we know that defining of the variable is basically when you set a value to a variable, it define that variable and also its type. We have a casting mechanism which we can use to actually strict a type or just define the type of the variable as well. For example, if I just go with x equals 5, so we know this is integer. But if I just make it like int, so it's now with a type called integer. And if I go with y equals 3, this is also an integer, but I can make it like float and make this variable a float variable, which can contains the points values. If print these, if I print x and see what will the output is, so you see it's 5, and if I print y, you will see the output is 3.0. Why is 3.0? Because this is the value of float. So this is how the typecasting is working in Python. So we saw that how the casting is working in Python, and there are multiple different types are available in Python. In terms of when we talk about their variables, their integers, floats, strings, booleans, bytes, etc., etc. Sometimes it's become difficult to understand the type that which type this variable is. So we can basically easily find the type of variable if you just print, and we have a function called type, and by using this x, see what will the type of x, and just run it. So you will see the type of x is basically integer. And if I do like y and run it, so you see this is float. If I just remove this casting from here and now see what is the type of x, so it should be integer because it's automatically defined by the Python compiler. So you see this is integer. So this is how the type is working. This is very, very handy function to understand the which type are basically being used by that particular variable. Okay, this is pretty much about the variables. You know, variables are the storage containers that can contains different values, and it can have different kinds of data types. Now, the next concept is basically the constants. The best thing about constants that are also the type of variable whose value never change during the execution of the program, and Python basically does not provide that. This is a beauty. This is what we can say, but still we can have some constants in Python. Mostly the professionals, what they do, if they want to make this like x variable to behave like a constant, so they define it with an capital letter, and same here. So these are now become the constants, which basically tells the programmer that these are the constants, so those value can't be changed during the execution of the program. One more important concept of variables and constants, these all names are declarations, are basically the case sensitive. In Python, x is not equals to capital X. So if I write x equals 5 and here x equals to 4 and just print it out x, so you will see the value of small x. Let me just remove those, and for your C++ habit, so you see it's basically printing 4. And if I just do it x, which is a capital X, and run the program, so it is basically printing out the 5. So these are case sensitive variables that you have to define. So x, capital X is not equals to small x. And this is all about the variables, comments, and the constants in Python. I hope you like this video, and let's meet in the next session with another topic.